Hello guys and welcome to this build of the HobbyBoss 148 scale Mikoyan MiG-31. I always need a good cup of coffee when I do my builds, and this is no exception. Developed in the 1970s by the Mikoyan Design Bureau, the MiG-31 was conceived as a successor to the blistering fast but flawed MiG-25 Foxhound. The Foxhound could outrun anything in the skies apart from the SR-71. But it couldn't see below the horizon, nor could it handle low-altitude threats like cruise missiles. The Soviet air defense forces needed more. They needed a guardian for their northern frontier, capable of patrolling vast empty skies and intercepting intruders before they reached Soviet soil. First flew in 1975 and entered service in 1981. The MiG-31 was the world's first operational fighter equipped with a phased array radar. Its Saslon radar could track 24 targets and engage 6 simultaneously, even those flying low and fast. With a top speed exceeding of Mach 2.8 and a combat range of over 1400 kilometers, it was a true long-range interceptor. Although production ended in 1994, modernization programs has kept the aircraft relevant. The MiG-31 BM variant features upgraded avionics, digital displays, compatibility with modern missiles like the R-77 and KH-31. For scale modelers, HobbyBoss offers a stunning 148 scale rendition of the MiG-31 Foxhound. It was released in 2016. The kit is a new tool design. Inside the box you'll find 21 grey plastic sprues and 2 clear sprues, 6 rubber tires and white metal landing gear, 2 photo-etch plates for finer details, decals for 2 Soviet Air Force markings, a full color painting and weapons guide, and even a poster featuring the box art. The cockpit is impressively detailed, with molded harnesses and instrument panel decals. The fuselage is split top and bottom, with positive alignment features for the cockpit top. Weapons include the iconic R-33 long-range missiles, and the landing gears reinforced with metal for strength. The only caveats in this kit is the canopies that are designed to be displayed opened, so closing them will require some modifications. Overall, the kit is a rewarding build for intermediate and to advanced modelers, offering a faithful tribute to one of the aviation's most enigmatic interceptors. Nothing's like a nice cup of coffee, and it's needed here. So first off, I always start at the cockpit. I start with the seats. They are very detailed, with harnesses and details on the side of the seat. The ejection seats are Svesta K36. It's a series of ejection seats made by NPP Svesta. Variants of this ejection seat has been used in various of the Russian aircrafts. I dab some masking fluids on the panels in the cockpit to simulate some cracking in the paint. When I paint the top coat and peel off the masking fluids, it reveals the metal paint below, which gives the effect of the paint cracking. It gives it a more worn look and more authentic, I think. I dab it on with a sponge. The basic coat has been put on, and now comes the top coat, which is this blue-greenish color that the Russian usually use for their cockpits. I think the reason why Russians are using this kind of color is for contrast in the cockpit, but you can leave your comment below if you know the exact reason why Russians are using this specific color in the cockpits. And now we can reveal the cracking in the top coat. I use a small toothpick to remove the masking fluids that I put on earlier. And as you can see, this gives it a nice worn look. I've started on putting on decals in the cockpit. using microsol and microset. The decals conform really well to the rails detail in the cockpit. The cockpit has been put into place and onto the rest of the build. The intakes needs a bit of sanding, but they fit very well together. I primarily use Tamiya Extra Thin. This is my go-to glue for almost all my builds. The air intakes are painted metallic. For this I use Vallejo's aluminum paint, which sprays on very nicely directly out of the bottle. I start by putting the nose gear together and then pushing in the metallic rod afterwards. This has to be fastened by CA glue, and it's just a matter of pushing it directly into the hole in the nose gear. I like the fact that they have added this metal piece to strengthen the gears. They've done it both for the main landing gear and of course also this nose gear. The model is quite large. It really needs some support, and I think it's a good idea that they have added this metal piece, or these metal pieces, to the kit. The fan discs from the engine intakes is painted in a steel color, and then the intakes are mounted directly on. They lock together really nice. All the fitting in this kit is very good. Unfortunately, there's a lot of ejection pin marks in the wheel well, which needs to be covered. Next up is fitting the air intakes into the rest of the kit. I did experience some slight fitting issues here. Issues that I'm showing you in a bit later in this video. This is the top part of the kit, and the wings fits really nice together. Again, using thin cement or some extra thin cement to join the pieces together. And then the top part goes on to the kit. And here we have some fitting issues as well. Which I needed to fix with some additional plastic cardboard. As you can see, there's quite a gap between the two parts, and I had to fill that. Now on to the engine part, which is really interesting on this kit. It doesn't have a movable turkey feather tail, but the inside is movable on these engines. The MiG-31 is powered by two Soviet D30 F6 afterburning turbofan engines, which provide a drive thrust of about 20,900 pounds. These engines are a significant upgrade over the MiG-25 engines, offering both better fuel efficiency and power. As you can see on the pictures on my desk, they are pretty worn. They actually painted in this green color, but they look pretty worn due to the use of the afterburner, of course. So I try to simulate that effect in my version of the engines. For the external part of the engine, I use this exhaust type of paint that I've mixed myself. A brownish color with some copper into it. It gives this kind of sparkling effect on the exterior of the engine. And I will try to simulate the scratch effect as well. Next is the canopies, which I need to mask off first. They have to be painted in this specific bluish greenish color inside, and then of course the regular gray scheme on the outside. I have chosen to display the model with open canopies. And the inside of the canopy is actually a mix of this greenish color combined with two types of green, a darker and a lighter green. One of the cockpit's canopies actually consists of 17 parts. Some of them are photo-etched, and it takes a lot of fiddling to get them to fit together. I also mask off the inside of the canopy. The first layer of blue-green color is put on, and then afterwards I will put on the green color. Later on I will also add this insulating material, which has this light red color, but I do that in the weathering process. Here you can see the green has been put on, and now I'm removing the parts that I have covered with masking fluids to reveal the green blue color below. Carefully removing the masking fluids with a toothpick. Making sure not to scratch the paint that lies below the green. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. And I hope to see you again in the next part, where I take on painting the rest of the body, the rest of the kit, put on the armament, and do some weathering. And then of course the final reveal. Thank you again for watching this